Alrighty, Shalom, Israel. I'm gonna start by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rachakadash. Alright, I'm the brother, I'm a one. Alright, from down in Tempe, Florida. Okay. Come with another little one, edifying lesson. Once again, double honors to those in Apostle Great Millstone, teaching well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who pushing this work and just sincerity to the scattered abroad. And I just want to do this quick little lesson. All right, going into some exhortation. All right, some words of encouragement. All right, really just based off of, knowing that, the demons, all right, that's on these people are amping up. All right, and they're, they're trying to, provoke you in a way, man. All right, they're trying to get you, all right, to react. They're trying to get you to, act as the flesh wants to react. Okay. And as I titled this lesson, all right, don't give these people, all right, the time of day, man. Don't give them the time of day, all right, because these people got demons on them, man. They got demons on them, ready to act, act up. They got demons on them, ready to lash out, man. All right, these people got demons on them to really crash out, especially in these times that we're in. All right, they ain't got nothing to live for, man. They're seeing that Esau Edom's kingdom is crumbling. Everything that they worked hard for, everything that they desired, okay, to flourish here in America. All right, they're losing it. All right, they're running short on food supply. All right, they're running short on financial funds. All right, because the living cost here in America is rising. Okay, it's just going up more and more. So these people are on edge, and that leads them to what? Pick a person or point the finger at someone. All right, and that person might be you. That's ultimately moving and walking in the spirit to the best of your ability. Okay, and likewise, I speak to you, Akim. I speak to myself first and foremost, man. Knowing that we're in some serious times, you got these people who are desiring to just, attack anybody, okay? Be the aggressive at any point. It brings me to these scriptures, okay, that comfort us in these times as things get dangerous, all right? The first scripture I wanted to grab is, let me see, pull up for me. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." And that's what we're dealing with, man. We're dealing with wickedness on a high level here. All right, you got witches and warlocks. Okay, you got all these people trying to send up, these certain enchantments, all right, to prevent those who are standing up against this kingdom, man. These are these high banking families, these elites, all right, those who are in rule right now. They trying to break brothers down, all right. You see more wickedness being, flourishing here in Babylon, all right? And it's just not going to stop. It's only going to get worse as we know it, especially in the times we're going into the year 2020, 26. All right, Esau is looking forward to, pretty much bring in that sea help. All right, and by any means, he's, at any point, the technology that he's advancing in and the things that he's doing, all right, it's all leading up to that. So he's gonna let, all those things, whether it be wickedness, whether it be idolatry, whether be adultery, whatever it is, he's gonna let it continue to flourish to keep the minds of the people, distracted until that time comes, man. All right. And knowing that we're here in this wicked place, man, they're gonna seek to, as the scripture says, they'll seek to wear us out, man. To seek to wear out the saints. All right, and these devils are crafty. All right, they know what they're doing. You know, they know what they're doing. All right, they know who they're targeting. All right, they're targeting those who are sincere-hearted towards Yahweh Shem outside. You know, all this craziness going on is ultimately because the way how Esau is ruling. Okay, wickedness is flourishing on a high time right now, man. And we know that these those who are that are in power. Okay. So bringing that back, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, all right, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness," right? You know these Rockefellers, the DuPonts, Rothschilds, as I said before, these high banking families, man. You know, they sit behind closed doors and call the shots. You know, that's who we are battling against, man. And those demons, it says, of darkness and of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Let me see. All right, so this is beyond what eyes can see, man. You know, we're at a spiritual battle. You know, we're dealing with spiritual things, man. All right, this ain't a normal fight. This ain't a normal condition. All right, that average people are walking in and dealing with. No, this is what us brothers is, fighting this kind of fight. All right, that the Lord put the spirit on the fight is dealing with. Okay, we dealing with these type of things, man. And those same like spirits that's on these individuals and these people can be at this, can be on a person at your job. All right, can be an individual on the road just driving. Motherfucker cut you off, man, blowing the horn at you. It could be on somebody a family member, a loved one. Okay, your kids, your wife. These damn demons, they travel, man. Okay, they hop on those vessels that they can easily, take over at the time. All right, they try to get at you. Well, because we move in the spirit, they have a hard time to do that. All right, and that's really the point of the lesson going into, not to give, the time of day to these people, aka these demons, because that's really who we're dealing with when we see these people act the fool. You trying to go into the store and take care of your stuff, and you got motherfuckers just mean muggy you. Jake ain't got shit else to do but just sitting there mean mugging you. Got complete demons on him. You trying to buy something, you trying to take care of responsibilities, whatever you got to do. Motherfuckers just giving you a hard time. All right, they got demons on them, man. And we know that the Lord's gonna jack them up. They already jacked up, but they're gonna be jacked up even more. Okay. You got people who probably did you wrong in the past, and all of a sudden you hear about something going on and they getting jacked up. Okay, I recently just ate a spirit though. Call it by Shai recently, heard some information about an individual who was very disrespectful, man. Okay, got out of the line, and now something that's I said through the spirit is now happening to that individual, man. Okay, and you showed nothing but kindness, and you let me grab it, matter of fact. All right, because what the scripture says in Romans chapter 12, I'm gonna grab it. This is scriptures give us a way of how to conduct ourselves and how to go about things like this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab Proverbs first, and then I'll grab that. Proverbs chapter 15, verse, I believe it's 15th chapter. First verse, this is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. It says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So applying a soft answer towards a person that might be, disrespectful or coming at you wild at the mouth, all right, trying you, applying this scripture as it says, with a soft answer would turn away wrath, man. You see? Then these people have a different reaction how they come at you. Sometimes they have it where they think twice about it, and then the demon hop off on them, and they come back to you and be like, "Oh man, I apologize." They come in a different spirit. Same things go with all right. If you get pulled over, all right, and the cop pulls you over, and he might come at you like, hey sir, you might have did this or whatever, out of nowhere, because they got demons on them too. But the scripture says, agree with thy adversary quickly. All right, when you do that, they might have came at you rough and in a harsh tone, but then when they come back, they're like, hey man, give you off a warning, whatever, and you send some prayers up, of course, but their whole character of how they was approaching with those demons on them changes when you deal with things in the spirit. Okay, when you deal with things applying the scriptures. All right. It says, reading that again, Proverbs 15 and 1, a soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. And another thing is when we apply the scriptures, those demons, they try to get at you, and you applying in the scripture over and over and over, they get agitated, man. They get mad. They're like, damn, he's not going for it. So they try to find a different way to go at you, and they try to jump on somebody else. So they try to, come at a different tactic. Those demons just going to go into intelligence, man. They know who we are, man, through the spirit. So they know what where you're weak at, and they know where you are strong at. They know all these things. Okay, their job is to, get you to be less more, or they try to get you to be, not in the spirit, or less more in the spirit. That's what I'm looking for. That's their job. That's what they want. That's what they desire. The demons have a mission themselves, just like these people, man. They might not know why they're doing it. Your woman, she might act up, and she might not know why she's doing it. All of a sudden, demon hop off, and she all back to normal. But it's the demons that hop on these people. You see? Which brings me to this. It's in the book of Romans. All right, because going to that little small testimony I had, all right, let me see, right, Romans chapter 12. It's Romans chapter 12, verse, let me see. Just lock it, bear with me. Just Romans chapter 12, I start at verse 17. It says, recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Right? So, you don't want to retaliate to things, all right, with the same spirit that they might be coming in, or the individual might be coming in, man. All right? Because the scriptures give us the way of how to move around these wicked people, how to move in this wicked world and wicked places that, you might approach or, come across, man. The Wadi How smell shy, because without these scriptures, without these things, we'll be moving just like everybody else. But because we have this special way of, conducting ourselves and moving, that separates us, man, through the spirit power by Shemel Shai. It reads verse 18, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. And during that time, you try to deal with people as best as way you can, okay, in the spirit, of course. And you try to go about it by applying the scriptures, and by doing that, it changes their courses of frustration. I believe what the scripture says, when your ways pleases Yahweh by Shemel Shai, it even maketh your enemies at peace with you. You see? And that's what happens in the terms of what you're dealing with these wicked individuals, man. All right, you don't want to, but sometimes you might have to, dealing with you your job status, or your business, or just the fact that you gotta go take care of errands, but being in the midst of these things, and applying the scriptures can control the whole narrative, how it plays out, man. You see? And we know that when we apply these things and we go about it the way of being in the spirit, is that what the scripture says, and we make of ourselves a prey, because we're moving towards doing those things that the Lord is requiring us to do. All right? And these people don't understand that. They're not gonna they're not gonna grasp for that. All right? Their job and motive is to make sure that they get agitated or pissed off, or mad as hell. And it happens. We in the flesh, but we still going back and relying on the scriptures, man. And it calming us down, and it bringing us, the spirit tapping in and intervening. You're like, all right, yeah, you know what? That's a demon. You identifying it as a demon. You see? It says, verse 19, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shemel Shai. So in the Lord's time, He gonna take care of those things. If a person been pissing you off, or trying to try you, it don't matter what kind of situation, man. If you're doing what you gotta do for the Lord, and then this person is trying to bring extra goddamn vexation to you, they got another thing coming. You see? They got a whole nother thing coming, man. And the Lord is gonna jack them up. It ain't gonna be on our time, it's gonna be on the Lord's time. And some way, somehow, you're gonna hear about it. Spirit gonna have it where you gonna be able to hear about it. As a spirit, because it just came about out of nowhere. Months later, this is happening. What? Yeah. You said that. That's the spirit. See? That's why you don't fuck with the Lord's men, all right? You don't fuck with those who are, serving Yahweh by Shemel Shai, all right, to the best of their ability. You don't fuck with those men, man. You leave them alone, all right? Go about your business. Because sooner or later, you're doing what you're doing to them, it's going to fall back on you. And we're going to jack them up, man. So don't let those people, get at you. All right? Try to provoke you to frustration and anger, and all of a sudden, now you are pissed off and moldy out the day. Hell no, fuck that. We got a better way of going about it. But continuing, it says, let's get to the point. Verse 20, it says, therefore, matter of fact, let me pull over right here. We'll close it out with this. It's just too long, just straight to the point. All right, just some exhortation to the spirit, for any brothers that might be dealing with this, man, or might have dealt with it, spirit hopped on me, do it, man. All right, strike the iron while it's hot, right? It says, verse 20, Romans 12, verse 20, it says, therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. So, the best way to, go about a situation like that, what? Here, I'm going to still apply the scriptures. I'm going to still be, gentle, and, be how I'm supposed to react as the scripture says, in the spirit, man. Peaceful. I'ma still do that to the best of my ability. You know? Because you got some people, you got big ass demons on them, and you be ready to just knock their damn heads off their head. But hey, you know, that's the flesh. The spirit of heaven, you know what? Hey, you know, shit, hey, you got something coming, man. And you just keep it pushing. Point is by doing that, you know, the Lord's gonna you know, take care of the problem. How about Shemel Shah's gonna take care of the problem? Okay, verse 21, I'm closing out with this. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. And being in this flesh and being in this wicked world, you know, sometimes a lot of times it can vex the shit out of you, man. All right, to hear the filthy conversations of these people, to see these things happening here, you know, knowing that these wicked enchantments is being sent up to make your life a living, you know, hell extra added on to you. You know, knowing these things, but still knowing that, you know, Yahweh Shemel Shai is already, you know, laid the way. He's already showed us the way. Okay? And we have these scriptures to comfort us. Again, reading that Romans 12:21, it says, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. And knowing that, like I said, you know, that's how we continue to progress, even though when this flesh gets irritated or pissed off or frustrated or mad, you know, because it happens. But just not, you know, retaliating, man. Just letting them be. The Lord got it, you know. So, hey, that was in my spirit to bring it out low when this lesson was edifying to Akbar to seeking Lord the truth and sincerity. All right, once again, double honor to that was an apostle and great millstone who teach you well. Until next time, I say shalom.